So let's.
Welcome back to to the first losers final, I think.
Yes, the first losers final. So far, amazing battlers have gone through, and a huge dominant showing. I was just talking with Sergio about this. It's a huge dominant Dutch showing in this
Yep.
in these regionals. Let's see if some other people can shine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can't stress this enough. I mean, we've opened every round like this, basically saying, "Wow, those were amazing matches," but they were.
I really last game. I really wanted Chorizo to throw a muddy water at Thomas. Because I wanted to see how he would react. Because if somebody threw a muddy water at my Venusaur and I shielded it, I would be
Really mad.
yeah. Why would you do that?
Okay, let's see. Johnny Redshaw versus Lorenzoleeuwe. Löw. I'm not trying it anymore.
Let's go with Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, yeah, that works perfectly fine for me.
Johnny going up against Lorenzo. You see, after a very long time, the Shadow Nidoqueen.
Yeah, and this one has been a staple in many teams for the longest time, so why has it fallen out of favor? I mean, it's good versus Tox, right?
It is good versus Toxicroak. I mean, it's good versus Toxapex, but as you saw, like, people are not preparing for Toxapex. They're preparing for the counter of Toxapex. And Nidoqueen kind of went out of favor mostly because you have the Sableye that's going to do well against it. You have the Trevenant that has an okay matchup. Noxal can force you to double shield and not shield at all and still throw and still, like, almost flip switch there. So when those are core meta Pokemons combined with Medicham, Ice Punch, Psychic, and no, I mean, the reason why Nidoqueen was very, very popular in GBL is you don't know the opponent's backlines. In Show 6 Pick 3 format, you cannot really hard, let's say, force swap and then win the game. Because the opponent is going to prepare for you to do that. Because they know, okay, I saw this Pokemon and this Pokemon. What will they have at the back? And we're already ready to go and see how this goes.
Johnny versus Lorenzo. Who is going to take this? Who is going to advance to day 2?
What a lead. Noxal into the Sableye. Sableye can still play this as well, but immediately swapping into Lickitung, which is still a bad matchup.
Lorenzo, by the way, another Dutch player. I figured from the name, but it could have been also Belgian.
Yeah, for sure. This is a dominant matchup, and at this point, Johnny Red can kind of think that, okay, maybe there is something that's good against the Sableye at the back. This is perfect, chip and dip, like we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Throw a move, get it to a range where you're comfortable dealing with it, and then bring whatever you have to.
Yeah, and Medicham can easily almost counter it down, even though the Elix deal a sizable amount of damage. Also, 2 body slams already thrown onto the Medicham. It is good damage, but the counter is going to save up a lot of energy. And do we get to another? No, I think he could have countered again.
Yes, I think he could have countered it down. Ideally, how you would want to play this out is to give 1 HP to the Medicham and counter it down, because then the Sableye has nowhere to go. But this is going to be really interesting, because what does he come in? Does he come in with the Noxal, or does he come in with the Lickitung? He does come in with the Sableye. Does he get to an Ice Punch? Yes, he does, and this Ice Punch is not going to do a lot of damage.
But however, it's doing a little bit of chip damage. Very nice introduction to the Ice Punch. But you were right, it didn't deal a lot of damage. But you can safely go into the Noctowl here. I mean, Lickitung is already down. So going into the Noctowl really just walls this. Okay, now we go into the Lickitung versus Galarian Stunfisk matchup, which is kind of neutral.
Yeah, these Earthquakes are going to really add up. What some good players do is they go for the big nuke first and then start baiting.
Yeah.
Then that's exactly what he does, and he gets the Protect Shield from Lorenzo, and that is very good for Lorenzo. Now he's in a little bit more comfortable position.
Now he has the energy advantage. He had to use the Protect Shields at some point, and I think all of his moves that he has now are relatively cheap. I mean, Shadow Ball is maybe a different story. It's not the highest energy cost move, so shielding them won't feel really good.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Going for the next Earthquake
and
gets another
and he shields it again. This is the perfect scenario for Lorenzo.
The Lickitung is still chilling at 85% HP, which is insane. The Stunfix is forced to shield, but maybe what he can try to do is catch a move. But will he do that? Let's find out.
So another Earthquake is going to come out, and this time it is going to deal about 50% of the max HP to the Lickitung, but Lickitung is going to counter it with, okay, not yet a Power Whip. So we are switching the Noctowl into the Sableye again. Noctowl is going for the Sky Attack, and this is going to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, Sky Attack is neutral against Sableye. His Shadow Ball would have been better, but he is in a position where he cannot lose. 2 foul plays do not take out this Noctowl.
Nope, Noctowl is way too big for that.
And I think when he throws the next foul play, he'll get another wing attack through, and that will be that for Sableye. This is even better because, as we know, Stunfisk cannot farm down a Noctowl.
No, absolutely not. The Mud Shots don't deal anything, basically. And we are really close to a Shadow Ball, and I think we're going to get there. Noctowl is probably going to end it this time with the Shadow Ball queued.
I do believe it survives.
Oh!
But it's going to get wing attack down, and at this point, this game is over. You need at least an Earthquake and a Rock Slide to take out the Lickitung at the back, but... and it has a Body Slam. Oh, he's going for the Body Slam as well. It's resisted.
Lickitung perfectly licking all the bubbles.
I actually never noticed it. It does end up licking like a few of the bubbles. That's perfect.
Most of them. It hits all of the grass bubbles, by the way.
Oh, nice.
We really have to pay attention to this. Like, this is the important stuff, you know?
Fair enough. Oh, man, that was a very dominant matchup, and I think he has to re-examine his strategy because the worst... As I said before, he just really got RPS'd.
Yeah.
And when you get RPS'd, one of the safest things you can do is like, okay, my team was good, I just got bad alignment. Let me try this again.
So Lorenzo is thinking hard here, as you can see. They are both looking at the team sheets, thinking, what can I bring to the table that secures me the next game? Lorenzo really wants to go to day 2. So does Johnny, of course.
Yep.
But Johnny is in a difficult position now. He really has to swing back there and really hope that his next lead is going to give him the advantage that he needs to close this game out.
Yeah, it's still really it's high stakes game right now.
Absolutely.
This decides who goes to day 2. And you can see the tension, even in the judges' eyes. He's on the zone as well.
Even in the plushy Sableye.
Sableye can't take it anymore. I'm
just taking a nap now. I'm not standing. I can't stand this anymore. I have to lay down for a second.
Sorry, chat, for the cringe.
They can take it. It's okay.
Oh, man, they're taking their time, and I understand why.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a high-stakes game, as you already said.
When you're one game down, best way to move forward is take one game at a time when you're down. And when you're up, you just absolutely go ham. Like, okay, I want to do this. I have to do this. I'm just going to do what I'm confident with. If it doesn't work, I still have another chance. So let's see how these two battlers end up playing this, because this is taking quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, this is really not the game you want to be losing. This is, if you're going home after the losers final on day 1, you are going to be a bit sad about it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But you also have to be proud that you made it so far.
Absolutely. Both players are absolutely high-skilled. Johnny Redshaw versus Lorenzoleeuwe. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I tried it again.
Lorenzo won Matterhorn. Do you know the
exactly.
reference?
Yes, I do. Okay, so give us some insights. What do you think is going to be the lead for Johnny here?
If I was Johnny, I might have played that lead differently. I would have kept the Sableye on the Noctowl and then put it in a position where just farm it down with the Lickitung. As long as the Lickitung has energy, you kind of force the the Stunfisk to come into your Lickitung, and if that's the case, then it's a whole other game. That might have been a flippable in Johnny's favor. Yes, Sableye has a very bad matchup against Noctowl, but foul plays are still neutral. Return hits for a lot of damage, like 65%. So maybe just stay in next time around. You never know. But I wouldn't be shocked if there's a Noxal lead from Johnny's side, because Noctowl had pretty decent play against Lorenzo's team.
Yeah, it is really good against almost everything, just not the Galarian Stunfisk. And you can, I think he's also running a Medicham.
Yeah.
He can queue it afterwards so that he can safe switch into it and maybe gain momentum with this.
Yep, you're right. So let's see. Let's see what they're both very nervous and taking their time.
Oh, they really are.
Lorenzo is overthinking it. I think he is in his head. He needs to get back.
If I was Lorenzo, I was going to lead Galarian Stunfisk because, as we already said, this Noctowl lead from Johnny's side is looking really threatening. If you have a good lead with this and you can gain the switch advantage, this thing is going to beat Lorenzo. So lead with the Stunfisk and hope that you find the Noctowl so you don't get momentumed away.
Yeah. It's a very good strategy.
And this is exactly what happens.
I call the Noctowl, you call the Stunfisk. That's perfect.
Okay, so Noctowl has to be switched out immediately. We go into the Medicham, and there is another Noctowl. Noctowl is such a dominant Pokemon.
Yeah, this is not a bad matchup for the Medicham.
That is true.
It counters you neutral damage, Ice Punches is super effective, and if he really wants, he can force a switch here. You see the Stunfisk there, and I think, oh man, if he can manage to flip the switch, this is going to be really, really an interesting game to see.
So Lorenzo maybe should have brought the Trevenant to the table because that one would have dealt with the Medicham quite easily. I mean, Ice Punches are still strong.
Very good timing there. Goes for the charge move priority, gets it, and Johnny is forced to shield now. And at this point, you can counter down the Noctowl if you want to pull up a shield. Does the Protect Shield come up? 3, 2, 1, 0, and it does.
And I think I got something wrong with the Trevenant. I confused the players again. This happened way too often to me today.
Here's the counter down. Does he get it? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Noctowl
Amazing.
falls. This is looking really good for Lorenzo in Game 2 as well.
This is one of the good things about having a Pokemon like Medicham going up against... oh man, it is a Shadow Venusaur. What? Swapping into the Lickitung to tank all this damage. The Venusaur does have a shield advantage, and knowing that he will win charge move priority throws exactly at the point where you know that the Lickitung gets to the body slam.
Oh, and the Frenzy Plant is dealing a lot of damage. You can easily take this body slam. There's no problem. Power Whip is not going to be thrown at you, so you don't have to worry about that. The next body slam would take you out, but your opponent won't get to that, so you can attack with Vine Whip one or twice more, and now you can hit it with the Frenzy Plant and take out the Lickitung. Really strong.
This matchup is still not done because there is a Medicham with almost 100 energy. Comes in with the Noctowl, in comes the Stunfisk. This is going to be super interesting on how we are going to finish this. Stunfisk does have a shield advantage, right? So this is kind of putting it in the favor of Johnny. In comes the first Shadow Ball and does 30% maximum, maybe 25% even, I'm not sure.
And it is getting shielded, and you can't really switch into the Medicham right here because the Medicham is too low. You could basically barely tank a Rock Slide. I don't think you can at this point.
Yes, the Medicham can tank a Rock Slide, but not an Earthquake. This is how you want to play it, but the switch did not go through. He wants Johnny to throw the charge move so that the Medicham can get to 2 moves by the time the Stunfisk can get to the Earthquake.
Yeah. So the Rock Slide is thrown, and we're going for the Shadow Ball right now. Shadow Ball is going to deal, as you said, maybe 30% of the max health of the Galarian Stunfisk. Shadow Ball is coming down, and you were absolutely right. So now the Medicham is going to be swapped in. Goes for the Ice Punch immediately. And
I think Lorenzo has this game. He gets it 2 Ice Punches before it gets to a move. Oh my god, this does this take it out? I think it survives with 1 HP.
Close. This is really close. Does the Galarian Stunfisk have the stamina? Yes, it does. And it can go for the... No, it got countered down. It didn't go for the Earthquake.
Oh, can he farm this down? I don't think so. And that is going to be very, very, very costly.
Oh, the Frenzy Plant comes out.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I think Lorenzo had this game, but unfortunately, he got it.
There's still the Noctowl. Noctowl takes off the Venusaur. Lorenzo advances to day 2. We have 4 Dutch players in day 2.
Oh my god. 4 out of 8.
That is so strong. That is really strong. As Lorenzo is, by the way. Wow.
Oh yeah, flaunting the flag. As long as he doesn't flip it over, you're still representing the right country.
Absolutely. Lorenzo, massive victory here. We almost thought his opponent had it, but we both forgot about the Noctowl still